These are two people you shared an embrace with on Friday.
Those two are my guys. Iverson, he spent a lot of time in Philadelphia.
Oh, look at Happy making the show.
Let's do that. I mean, that's how we do. Happies, we need season tickets. We contact the 76ers. We need season tickets. Senior likes them towards half court. Me and Junior, we don't mind being. They're my business partners. That's not that important.
Not Happy.
Yeah.
It's not Gilmore.
How about this? Tell me who.
Shout out to my guy.
I like seeing Iverson back fully in the fold with Philly after a little timeout. I like that.
Yeah, I was like to hear you got that Reebok money.
Yeah.
To hear it too. Time for stories to start your morning. Patrick Mahomes continued his MVP push, threw for 6 TDs and almost 500 yards, also had 5 turnovers. Nick, what'd you make of Mahomes' night?
I thought he played an A- game until the very, very end. Those last 2 drives, particularly the second to last drive, when after the Rams scored quick, you got all 3 timeouts, 2 minutes left, only down a field goal, he made a big mistake. Aaron Donald is a great player. Great players make great plays. I'm not going to kill him for those, especially because those were the first 2 lost fumbles of his career. But in the final couple minutes, he had some of his worst moments, and that's one of the biggest reasons the Chiefs didn't win the game.
Jenna, you can't turn the football over. You can't fumble the ball. You can't make excuses to great players. Great players are going to make great plays, but you still got to protect the football. His overall responsibility and just trying too much at the end of the game. Be methodical. 1 first down, 2 first down, get to midfield, then try to take a big shot. I thought at the end, I'm not giving him a grade. Of course, Nick's always there trying to grade people, but this would be the first time in the history someone's turned the ball over 5 times and they would get an A on their paper.
I said A- before. That was when he had 3 turnovers. I said before the final 2 minutes.
Hey, Pats had the week off.
B+.
Currently sitting atop the AFC East with a 7-3 record. They take on the Jets next as they look to make their push to return to the Super Bowl for the 3rd straight season. What do you think, Nick, after what you saw last night? Can the Patriots keep pace with that high-powered offense?
If Gronk is healthy, and if Sony Michel is healthy, and if the games are in New England, yes. If any one of those things is not the case, then I do not believe they can. The neutral site games notwithstanding. Like, I think they need all of those 3 components to be yes in order for this to be yes.
Jen, I've been live long enough to see this. I remember the greatest show on turf. Oh, they're going to embarrass New England. New England don't have the athletes, the overall speed. Oh, okay. All right, you give Bill Belichick a bye week, and you see what he does to people. New England will not be embarrassed. They've lost 3 times by double digits on the road. By the end of the season, if they were to face a team like this, they will be ready.
All right, moving on to LeBron James, riding high off that tremendous win over Miami Sunday, where he dropped 51 en route to a Laker win. So after beating his former team, he now heads to Cleveland to try to beat his other former team on Wednesday night. In an article that came out yesterday, LeBron is quoted as saying he knew as soon as the Cavaliers traded Kyrie Irving in the summer of 2017, that was the beginning of the end for everything. Nick, what was your reaction to this?
That quote wasn't, to me, that shocking. What was very interesting in that was the detail that right before Kyrie got traded, Ty Lue went to where LeBron was, signing autographs in Santa Monica, California, told LeBron the news. LeBron got on the phone with Kobe Altman, made the case not to trade Kyrie, and Kobe Altman committed to him, we won't trade Kyrie, and within 15 minutes, Kyrie was traded. And LeBron says on the record, a direct quote, not sources close, on the record, direct quote, that's when I knew Kobe wasn't in charge. That's when I knew Dan Gilbert was running things, and that's when he knew he was leaving. That's when he knew that he gave Dan Gilbert 1 ounce of trust. The one time when he came back that he couldn't leave, the one summer where he was locked up because he had signed a 2-year deal, one time after the championship, was the summer that back to the last general manager. Let him go. Ever since then, it's been downhill for the Cavs. David Griffin had a deal in place for Paul George that would have happened if David Griffin got extended. He didn't. It led to all of this and leads to LeBron being a Laker.
All right, let's get back to last night's epic football game.
You got a coach like that, you want to go out there and give him everything you got week in and week out. You know, you want to win for that guy. So, you know, he take care of us. You know, he put us in the best positions, these coaches. And our job is just go out there, fly around, and execute it. And that's what we've been doing, you know. So with the coaches we got, the head guy with McVay, with the players we have, sky's the limit. But you got to keep getting better. You got to keep staying hungry and not get comfortable.
His overall attitude was going to be use Gurley as a decoy, play action pass, because the pass protection was far more secure, but him be able to get the ball, what I would call, to the others. And the other guys from a game plan, Tyler Higbee, him and Gerald Everett, they had a season high in snaps played, targets, receptions, and yards. They typically have been the most in the NFL, what we call 11 personnel, 1 tight end, 1 running back, 3 wide receivers. But now with Cooper Kupp being out for a couple weeks, you can see that they've made the adjustments. That have a very good offensive line, and Sean McVay is very, very aggressive.
And I want to give Jared Goff enormous credit on that final drive, because he wasn't great in the second half. All of a sudden, the Rams were going 3 and out. All of a sudden, he had turned the ball over. He was missing some open passes, and they were in a spot where they used their last timeout with 5 minutes left in the football game. So after Scandrick drops that pick, they're facing a 3rd and 9 that if it's obviously 4-down territory, but if they don't get a first down on that drive, the Chiefs are 1 first down away from being able to take knees. And he makes a great pass along the sideline to convert the 3rd and 9, and then see.
And they come right back and attack Scandrick again. He almost throws an interception, but staying true to what you're going to do. We have a better matchup against that guy. Let's not get scared. Let's not get timid. We're going to go back and attack him again. The next play, they came right back at him and beat him on the one-on-one matchup.
And then the touchdown to Everett, like, that is going into the season, Everett's your 5th option, your 6th option, and in that spot, they had plenty of time. Even though they didn't have timeouts, they were 2 minutes left, down 4. They could have been more methodical about it. I'm sure some Rams fans, when they scored, were hoping he stepped out of bounds because they were worried about giving the ball back to Kansas City. And to make that throw, which was the best throw I thought he made all night, over the top. I know Sorensen is not the athlete to be covering him, but that had to be a great throw, see, right along the sideline. And so Goff, after they scored 54 points, you think the quarterback must have played great, and he did play very well. But he was coming off some rough series for him, including a series where he had a fumble touchdown, or I don't know if it was scored a fumble or an interception touchdown, but it led to a defensive score, and he rallied. He was excellent late to his 3rd, 4th, 5th options.
You had the feeling last night that they could have plugged anyone in and they would have been successful with how well the offense was rolling.
I mean, they are, these new offenses, the way they get so many players involved, it's hard to isolate and be able to take away the featured. But Sean McVay, he's got a good feel in how they match up their running with their play action. It keeps the defense very confused. As Bart Scott said, it's hard to keep good eye discipline because they make everything look the same way. I'm not going to say, because football's a lot harder. I know both teams scored more than 50 points. Anybody just can't do it. Sean McVay is putting guys in where they have route running ability, catching ability. Everett, he's a tight end. I can guarantee you they have not thrown a deep pass to a tight end outside the numbers all season. So being able to identify what that team can't do, what I can do, and be able to call it up in real time and execute, it's always special to see.
And in the big picture scheme, when we've talked so much about New Orleans and how important it is for New Orleans to have home field, have the #1 seed, if the Rams had lost yesterday, they would be 2.5 back of New Orleans. 2 games, or 1.5 back, I should say, because they don't have the tiebreaker with New Orleans. Now they're 10-1. New Orleans is 9-1. New Orleans got 4 games left against teams 500 or better. The Rams only have 1 game left against teams 500 or better. That game could go a long way to making sure New Orleans does have to go on the road if this matchup happens in the NFC Championship game.